Good afternoon. This is All India Radio. I am VC Pramod and with me is Reshma Tiwari with the Midday News. The headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi launches the distribution of e-property cards under the Swamitva scheme. Prime Minister urges rural India to follow all COVID-related protocols and defeat the second wave of corona pandemic. Home Minister Amit Shah inaugurates an oxygen manufacturing plant at Kolavada village in Gandhinagar. Centre directs all states and union territories to ensure adequate security to oxygen transporting vehicles and to make exclusive corridors for the purpose. Over 13 crore 83 lakh 79,000 vaccine doses administered till now in the country. 3 lakh 46,000 new COVID-19 cases in the last 24 hours. Justice Nudalapati Venkata Ramana takes oath as the 48th Chief Justice of India. CBI registers a case against former Maharashtra Home Minister Anil Deshmukh following allegation of bribery. All necessary preparations being finalized for the 7th phase of polling for assembly elections in West Bengal, polling on Monday. And in IPL cricket, Rajasthan Royals will face Kolkata Knight Riders at the Wankhede Stadium this evening. As the number of COVID cases are on the rise again, we appeal to our listeners not to lower the guard, follow all the precautions and all those above 45 years of age to get vaccinated without any hesitation. Stay safe and protected by following these 3 simple steps. Wear a face mask, maintain 2 gaz ki duri for social distancing, focus on hand and face hygiene. And now the news in detail. Prime Minister has urged rural India to follow all COVID-related protocols and defeat the second wave of corona pandemic. Speaking at the launch event of Swamitva scheme for the entire country today, Mr. Modi lauded the spirit of rural India, asserting that last year everyone sincerely followed the COVID-appropriate behavior which helped the nation recover from the pandemic within a short span of time.
1 साल पहले पूरा देश कोरोना से मुकाबला कर रहा था। तब मैंने आप सभी से आग्रह किया था कि आप कोरोना को गांव में पहुंचने से रोकने में अपनी भूमिका निभाएं। आप सभी ने बड़ी कुशलता से न सिर्फ कोरोना को गांव में पहुंचने से रोका, बल्कि गांव में जागरूकता पहुंचाने भी बहुत बड़ी भूमिका निभाई। इस वर्ष भी हमारे सामने जो चुनौती है, वो चुनौती पहले से जरा ज्यादा है कि गांवों तक इस संक्रमण को किसी भी हालत में पहुंचने नहीं देना है, उसे रोकना ही है।
The Prime Minister said that the battle against the pandemic is more strong this year as the country has rolled out the largest vaccination drive in the world.
भारत सरकार अभी 45 आयु के ऊपर के हर व्यक्ति का मुफ्त टीकाकरण हिंदुस्तान के हर राज्य में कर रही है। अब 1 मई से 18 साल की उम्र से ऊपर के लोगों को टीका लगाने की प्रक्रिया शुरू होने वाली है। आप सभी साथियों के सहयोग से ही ये टीकाकरण अभियान सफल होगा।
The Prime Minister informed that the centre has given its nod to provide free ration to more than 80 crore Indians for the month of May and June this year under the Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan Ann Yojana to ensure that proper nutrition is guaranteed to every Indian amidst the tough times of corona pandemic.
इस मुश्किल समय में कोई भी परिवार भूखा न सोए, ये भी हमारी जिम्मेदारी है। कल ही भारत सरकार ने प्रधानमंत्री गरीब कल्याण योजना के तहत मुफ्त राशन देने की योजना को फिर से आगे बढ़ाया है। मई और जून के महीने में देश के हर गरीब को मुफ्त राशन मिलेगा। इसका लाभ 80 करोड़ से ज्यादा देशवासियों को होगा। इस पर केंद्र सरकार 26,000 करोड़ रुपए से अधिक खर्च करेगी।
Prime Minister urged all the panchayats to follow the mantra of Dawai Bhi Kadai Bhi to fight the war against COVID-19 and expressed confidence that rural India will fight the battle stronger and faster against the pandemic.
मेरे देश के, मेरे गांव के सारे लोग, गांव का नेतृत्व करने वाले लोग गांव में कोरोना को प्रवेश करने से रोकने में सफल होंगे और बहुत उत्तम तरीके से व्यवस्था भी करेंगे। जो भी गाइडलाइंस समय समय पर जारी होती हैं, उनका पूरा पालन गांव में हो, हमें ये सुनिश्चित करना होगा। इस बार तो हमारे पास वैक्सीन का एक सुरक्षा कवच है, इसलिए हमें सारी सावधानियों का पालन भी करना है और ये भी सुनिश्चित करना है कि गांव के हर एक व्यक्ति को वैक्सीन की दोनों डोज भी लगें।
Talking about the importance of village panchayats, the Prime Minister said that the country is moving ahead by placing villages at the center of every policy and endeavour. He asserted that the centre is moving ahead with the aim to make villages of modern India completely self-reliant.
आधुनिक भारत के गांव समर्थ हो, आत्मनिर्भर हो, इसके लिए पंचायतों की भूमिका को बढ़ाया जा रहा है। पंचायतों को नए अधिकार दिए जा रहे हैं। पंचायतों को डिजिटल बनाने के लिए हर गांव को फाइबर नेट से जोड़ने का काम भी तेजी से चल रहा है। आज हर घर को शुद्ध जल देने के लिए चल रही जल जीवन मिशन जैसी बड़ी योजना की जिम्मेदारी पंचायतों को सौंपी गई। ये अपने आप में एक बहुत बड़ा काम हमने आपके जिम्मे आपकी भागीदारी से आगे बढ़ाया है। आज गांव में रोजगार से लेकर गरीब को पक्का घर देने तक का जो व्यापक अभियान केंद्र सरकार चला रही है, वो ग्राम पंचायतों के माध्यम से ही आगे बढ़ रहा है।
Mr. Modi said that the centre has provided around 2,25,000 crore rupees to fortify the Gram Panchayats across the nation. He said special emphasis is laid to promote e-Gram Swaraj in order to bring greater transparency in development-related works in rural India. The Prime Minister also urged all panchayats across the nation to start local campaigns around groundwater, Swachhata, agriculture and education. He said the day of Panchayati Raj is an important occasion to repeat the resolutions of Navnirman of rural India and inform that the Swamitva scheme will benefit people of rural areas to a great extent. Mr. Modi said that under the scheme, drone technology has been used for the first time to map actual property area of landowners. He expressed confidence that the property cards given to over 4 lakh beneficiaries under the scheme will also help them to avail financial benefits through loan from banking institutions. Prime Minister also conferred the National Panchayat Awards 2021 on this occasion.
On the occasion of National Panchayati Raj Day, Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu today applauded COVID warriors at the local level for rendering enormous service to the citizens during this critical period. In a tweet, Mr. Naidu said, "The nation stands with them." He said, "In a vast country like India, Panchayati Raj institutions are best placed to reach out to the needy and the poor in times of crisis like the present one." Home Minister Amit Shah today also greeted people on National Panchayati Raj Day. In a tweet, Mr. Shah said, "Strong and modern panchayats are the foundation of self-reliant India." He said the BJP government under the leadership of Prime Minister Narendra Modi is dedicated to the poor and welfare of farmers through its policies. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh held a review meeting today to assess Defence Ministry's efforts to deal with the prevailing COVID-19 situation in the country. Mr. Singh took stock of the operations of the Indian Air Force, which has undertaken several sorties to reduce the transportation time of oxygen and other critical supplies in the country. Meanwhile, one C-17 aircraft has reached Changi Airport in Singapore today to bring 4 cryogenic oxygen tanks, which will be offloaded today evening at Panagarh Air Base in West Bengal. These containers of cryogenic oxygen tanks will help boost the oxygen supply in the country. Union Home Ministry is coordinating lifting of high-capacity tankers from abroad by Indian Air Force aircraft for movement of medical oxygen. Another C-17 aircraft carrier brought back oxygen containers trucks from Pune to Jamnagar to reduce the travel time and ensure timely supply of medical oxygen. Airlift of empty cryogenic oxygen containers from different parts of the country is currently underway.
Union Home Minister Amit Shah has inaugurated an oxygen manufacturing plant at Kollavada village in Gandhinagar today. Speaking on the occasion, Mr. Shah said that oxygen manufacturing in Gujarat is better compared to other states, as Gujarat is an industrial state. He said that Gujarat has supplied its surplus oxygen to many other states and set a good example. He said that the PM CARES Fund has approved hundreds of plants for oxygen production across India. Out of these, Gujarat will get 11 plants which will be operational soon. More from our Ahmedabad correspondent.
The oxygen plant inaugurated by Union Home Minister Amit Shah will provide oxygen to the COVID patients admitted in Kolawada Ayurvedic Hospital. The plant is producing 280 liters of oxygen per minute, which is sufficient for the Kolawada Hospital with the capacity of 200 COVID patients. This pressure swing absorption PSA oxygen plant will continuously generate the oxygen from the normal air. Mr. Shah said that the government has kept large cylinders in its possession so that some oxygen plants don't function, there can be an alternate supply. Meanwhile, Gujarat has recorded 13,804 new cases of COVID-19 during the last 24 hours. The number of active cases in the state has crossed the 1 lakh mark. Yogesh Pandya, AR News, Ahmedabad.
Government today said that over 13 crore 83 lakh 79,000 vaccine doses have been administered till now in the country. Health Ministry said the country has reported over 3 lakh 46,000 new COVID-19 cases in the last 24 hours. With this, total cases in the country reached 1 crore 66 lakh 10,481. The ministry said over 2 lakh 19,000 people were discharged in the last 24 hours. Till now, 1 crore 38 lakh 67,997 persons have recovered from COVID-19. The recovery rate stands at 83.49%. It said 2,624 deaths were reported in the last 24 hours and death toll in the pandemic reached 1,89,544. Active cases in the country now stands at 25,52,000.
Delhi's COVID-19 situation remains grim as increasing caseload has led to shortage of oxygen in hospitals. The national capital logged 348 deaths due to COVID yesterday, which is highest in a day so far. A total of 24,331 new coronavirus cases were reported, taking the total active cases to 92,029. Several hospitals have been sending SOS calls saying they would run out of oxygen if the stocks were not replenished. In view of the shortage, Centre had on Wednesday increased supply of medical oxygen to Delhi from 378 metric tons per day to 480. The entire administration of Delhi government responded to SOS calls from COVID hospitals last night. Our correspondent has filed this report.
Home Ministry has deputed the ITBP to restart one of the largest COVID care centres in South Delhi that was discontinued in February. Earlier this week, DRDO reopened the Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel COVID Hospital near Dhaula Kuan with 250 ICU ventilator beds. It has oxygen support and ventilators, and the hangar is fully equipped with centralized air conditioning, a basic lab and a pharmacy. The hospital was closed in February following drop in COVID-19 cases. It has the capacity to admit 1,000 patients. The Armed Forces Medical Services has deployed additional doctors, including specialists, super specialists and paramedics at the hospital to cater to the current surge in COVID-19 cases. As against 294 doctors and health workers in 2020, 378 have been mobilized this year. The 1,000-bedded COVID care center in Sant Nirankari Ashram at Burari is also almost ready and will be made available in the next few days. Suparna Saikia, AR News, Delhi.
In accordance with the Break the Chain order, nationalized banks in Mumbai and other parts of the state have revised their timings in view of the COVID-19 situation in the state. Mumbai's regional passport office has also suspended operations of all passport office kendras and post office passport seva kendras from yesterday. More from our Mumbai correspondent.
Nationalized banks in Mumbai and other parts of Maharashtra have revised their timings in view of the COVID-19 situation in the state. As per the decision, banks in the state will operate from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. for account holders till 30th April. Similarly, Mumbai's regional passport office has suspended operations of all passport office kendras and post office passport seva kendras from Friday. With the offices remaining closed at least till 30th April, applicants are requested to reschedule their appointments using the web portal. Meantime, Mumbai's Municipal Commissioner Iqbal Singh Chahal had said that symptomatic COVID patients will be allocated hospital beds only after a detailed medical checkup. Madhuri Pange, AIR News, Mumbai.
In Madhya Pradesh, the second phase to Kill Corona campaign is being conducted in rural areas of all districts from today till the 9th of May. Under the campaign, teams set up to break the transmission chain of COVID-19 will go and search for possible corona patients with fever symptoms in the hotspots where the COVID-19 positivity rate is increasing. More from our Bhopal correspondent.
Kill Corona campaign 2 is being started in the state to break the chain of corona infection and ensure door-to-door identification and treatment of potential patients. The Panchayat and Rural Development Department, Anganwadi workers and Health Department staff will provide medical kits to the affected people. The state government also launched a new initiative, Yog Se Nirog program. The aim of the program is to boost the mental and physical health of the COVID patients living in the home isolation and COVID care centers. Meanwhile, the state on Friday reported 13,590 fresh COVID cases, while 74 patients succumbed to the infection. The death toll increased to 4,937. Pooja Pivardhan, AIR News, Bhopal.
In Assam, Kokrajhar District Administration has started COVID test of passengers coming from other states at Srirampur Gate. Kokrajhar Deputy Commissioner Bhaskar Fukan said that the truck drivers have been tested at parking places instead of Srirampur Gate for swift movement of essential goods. The decision was taken following instruction issued by Chief Minister Sarbanand Sonowal to ramp up tests at border areas. In Chhattisgarh, 17,397 new corona-positive patients have been identified. With this, the total number of COVID-19 cases in the state mounted to 6,22,965. Currently, 1,23,479 people are being treated in hospitals or in home isolation. During last 24 hours, 219 people died due to corona infection in the state. Meanwhile, Chhattisgarh Chief Minister Bhupesh Baghel has instructed the collectors of various districts to ensure system of fire safety in hospitals as well as the supply of oxygen in a faultless condition.
The Chief Minister of Chhattisgarh has directed collectors to inspect the system of fire safety in all government and private hospitals of their district and ensure uninterrupted oxygen supply. Apart from this, in hospitals with oxygenated beds, it should also be ensured that there is no technical deficiency in the supply of oxygen in order to avoid the occurrence of any unpleasant event. Meanwhile, to prevent the spread of corona infection in Chhattisgarh, the state government is taking help of Anganwadi workers, teachers, and also the employees of the Forest Department. In many districts, the Forest Department teams are helping the district administration in monitoring the patient undergoing treatment in home isolation as well as in the COVID testing and vaccination work. Anganwadi workers are also going door to door to motivate people to take COVID vaccine. They are also distributing ready-to-eat nutritious food to children. Vikalp Shukla, AIR News, Raipur.
Telangana reported the highest number of 7,432 fresh COVID-19 cases on a single day during the past 24 hours. 33 more persons succumbed to COVID-19 and other comorbidities, taking the death toll in the state to 1,961. While the recovery slightly improved to 86.16% during the past 24 hours, 2,157 more people recovered from COVID. In the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir, the J&K administration is relentlessly working to tighten the implementation of the existing control measures and SOPs in an effort to reverse the upward trend in the number of positive COVID cases being reported nowadays in Jammu and Kashmir. 1,937 new positive cases and 19 COVID deaths were reported in the Union Territory yesterday. More from our Srinagar correspondent.
Keeping in view of the surge in the COVID cases, Chief Secretary B.V.R. Subramaniam has impressed upon the concerned officers to strictly implement the strategy of testing, vaccination and promotion of maintaining appropriate behavior among the general masses. Mr. Subramaniam has asked the respective district administrations to ramp up the testing in the identified clusters and prioritize the vaccination to the eligible population. Meanwhile, the administration has approved the establishment of 36 oxygen generation plants across the Union Territory to make Jammu and Kashmir self-sufficient in catering to the rising demand of oxygen. Sunil Kohl, AIR News, Srinagar.
As part of the measures to contain spread of the virus in the Union Territory of Puducherry, the total lockdown declared by the administration begins at 5 a.m. today. This will be in force till 26th Monday morning 5 a.m.
The Union Territory has been witnessing a steady increase in daily cases of COVID-19 infection over the last many days. To break the chain of infection, a decision to impose total lockdown was taken in a high-level meeting held under the chairmanship of the Lieutenant Governor Dr. Tamilisai Soundararajan. Today, the shops and business establishments are completely closed, but goods transport, public transports like buses, autos, home delivery of food, agriculture products, medical and other essential services are exempted from the restrictions. As on today, 6,767 positive cases are here, including 1,354 in hospitals and 5,413 persons in home isolation. The recovery rate stands at 85.64% and the case fatality rate is 1.42%. Chandramohan, Air News, Puducherry.
You are listening to the Midday News on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. Prime Minister Narendra Modi launches the distribution of e-property cards under the Swamitva scheme. Prime Minister urges rural India to follow all COVID-related protocols and defeat the second wave of corona pandemic. Home Minister Amit Shah inaugurates an oxygen manufacturing plant at Kulawada village in Gandhinagar. Centre directs all states and union territories to ensure adequate security to oxygen transporting vehicles and to make exclusive corridors for the purpose. Over 13 crore 83 lakh 79,000 vaccine doses administered till now in the country. 3 lakh 46,000 new COVID-19 cases in the last 24 hours. Justice Nudalapati Venkatramana takes oath as the 48th Chief Justice of India. CBI registers a case against former Maharashtra Home Minister Anil Deshmukh following allegation of bribery. All necessary preparations being finalized for the 7th phase of polling for assembly elections in West Bengal. Polling on Monday. And in IPL cricket, Rajasthan Royals will face Kolkata Knight Riders at the Wankhede Stadium this evening. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle @AIR News Alerts.
चलो मिलकर एक शुरुआत करें, चलो एक फैसला आज करें, मास्क नहीं तो टोकेंगे, कोरोना को रोकेंगे, चलो एक इरादा करते हैं, चलो खुद से वादा करते हैं, मास्क नहीं तो टोकेंगे, कोरोना को रोकेंगे.
Welcome back to the Midday News. Justice Nudalapati Venkatramana today took oath as the 48th Chief Justice of India. President Ramnath Kovind administered him the oath of office at a brief ceremony held at the Rashtrapati Bhavan. He succeeds Justice Sharad Arvind Bobde, who demitted office yesterday. Justice Ramana will have a tenure of nearly 16 months as the Chief Justice and is due to retire on 26th of August next year. Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu, Prime Minister Narendra Modi, Lok Sabha Speaker Om Birla, Law Minister Ravi Shankar Prasad, judges of Supreme Court and several senior officials were present at the oath-taking ceremony.
Born on 27th August 1957 in Ponnavaram village in Krishna district of Andhra Pradesh, Justice Ramana was enrolled as an advocate in February 1983. He was appointed as a permanent judge of the Andhra Pradesh High Court in June 2000 and functioned as acting Chief Justice of the Andhra Pradesh High Court from March to May 2013. Justice Ramana was elevated as the Chief Justice of Delhi High Court in September 2013 and was elevated as a judge of the Supreme Court on February 2014. Anupam Mishra, AR News, Delhi.
In poll-bound West Bengal, all the necessary preparations are being finalized for the 7th phase polling of assembly elections on Monday. The polling will be conducted from 7 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. The Election Commission has decided to use Voter Verifiable Paper Audit Trail (VVPAT) along with electronic voting machine (EVM) at every polling station with a view to enhance the transparency and credibility of the election process, as VVPAT allows the voter to verify his or her vote. The arrangements have already made to ensure availability of adequate number of EVMs and VVPATs for the smooth conduct of the elections.
The Chief Electoral Office in West Bengal has taken up initiatives during the last few years to encourage physically challenged voters to exercise their franchise. Apart from ramps, wheelchairs, braille EVMs and assistance for the hearing impaired and blind at the polling stations, the elections offices in the state took up measures to enroll such voters. One such initiative was the introduction of the Anubhav mobile app that helped people with disabilities to register as voters. Another option is to call up the 1950 helpline to get help in enrolling. CBI has registered a case against former Home Minister of Maharashtra Anil Deshmukh and some other unknown persons for allegedly extorting money from bar and restaurants across the city of Mumbai with the help of Crime Intelligence Unit. The agency is currently carrying out searches at different locations of Deshmukh.
Government has extended certain timelines in order to give respite to taxpayers in difficult COVID times. It has extended deadline for making payment under Tax Dispute Resolution Scheme Vivad Se Vishwas by 2 months till the 30th of June. Time limit for passing of an order for assessment or reassessment under the Income Tax Act has been extended till 30th of June. Finance Ministry said that the decision was taken following requests received from taxpayers, tax consultants and other stakeholders that various time-barring dates, which were earlier extended to 30th April, may be further extended.
Centre has written to all states and union territories to ensure adequate security to oxygen transporting vehicles and to make provisions for exclusive corridors for transportation. Home Minister Amit Shah yesterday reviewed the situation arising out of sharp rise in COVID-19 cases and took various measures to augment the supply of oxygen for medical purposes. In Uttarakhand, 8 bodies have been recovered so far in Sumna area of Joshimath subdivision of Chamoli district, where an avalanche occurred yesterday during heavy snowfall. As per reports, 384 persons have been recovered. 6 of them are critically injured and under treatment. Rescue operations is in progress. Chief Minister Tirath Singh Rawat conducted an aerial survey of affected area.
In IPL cricket, Rajasthan Royals will take on Kolkata Knight Riders tonight at the Wankhede Stadium in Mumbai. The match will begin at 7:30 this evening. Punjab Kings beat Mumbai Indians by 9 wickets at the M.A. Chidambaram Stadium in Chennai yesterday to end their 3-match losing streak. Put into bat first, Mumbai Indians finished their innings on 131 for 6 with only skipper Rohit Sharma scoring 63. Punjab chase was a measured one as skipper Rahul and Mayank Agarwal stitched together a 53-run opening partnership. Another 78-run stand with Chris Gayle, 43 of 35 balls, was enough to surpass the required total with 14 balls to be bowled.
Now let us take a look at the weather forecast for today. National capital Delhi is witnessing a mainly clear sky and maximum temperature is expected to be nearly 35 degrees Celsius. The minimum temperature was 20 degrees. Mumbai will have partly cloudy sky with maximum temperature expected to be around 34 degrees Celsius. The minimum temperature was 25 degrees. Chennai will also have partly cloudy sky. The upper level of temperature is expected to be 37 degrees Celsius. The lower level was 27 degrees. Kolkata is experiencing a clear sky. The maximum temperature is likely to be nearly 37 degrees Celsius after a minimum of 27 degrees. Jammu and Srinagar are witnessing mainly clear sky. In Jammu, the maximum temperature will be around 29 degrees Celsius, while in Srinagar, the upper level is expected to be 19 degrees. Leh will have partly cloudy sky with temperatures rising from 0 to a maximum of 9 degrees Celsius. Gilgit may see partly cloudy sky with a maximum temperature of around 25 degrees Celsius. Muzaffarabad is witnessing a mainly clear sky. The maximum temperature may touch 26 degrees Celsius. Chandigarh, with mainly clear sky, may see temperature rising up to 34 degrees Celsius. Dehradun will also have mainly clear sky. The maximum temperature will be 32 degrees Celsius. Hyderabad may see cloudy sky with 1 or 2 spells of rain or thunder showers. The maximum temperature will rise up to 39 degrees Celsius. Patna will have mainly clear sky with maximum temperature rising up to 38 degrees Celsius. And Guwahati will have a partly cloudy sky with upper level of temperature reaching up to 36 degrees Celsius.
And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Prime Minister Narendra Modi launches the distribution of e-property cards under the Swamitva scheme. Prime Minister urges rural India to follow all COVID-related protocols and defeat the second wave of corona pandemic. Home Minister Amit Shah inaugurates an oxygen manufacturing plant at Kolawada village in Gandhinagar. Centre directs all states and union territories to ensure adequate security to oxygen transporting vehicles and to make exclusive corridors for the purpose. Over 13 crore 83 lakh 79,000 vaccine doses administered till now in the country. 3 lakh 46,000 new COVID-19 cases in the last 24 hours. Justice Nudalapati Venkata Ramana takes oath as the 48th Chief Justice of India. CBI registers a case against former Maharashtra Home Minister Anil Deshmukh for following allegation of bribery. All necessary preparations being finalized for the 7th phase of polling for assembly elections in West Bengal, polling on Monday. And in IPL cricket, Rajasthan Royals will face Kolkata Knight Riders at the Wankhede Stadium this evening. And with that, we end the midday news.